Welcome to the theater. Today, we're going to be reviewing Memento, so let's get right into it. One of director Christopher Nolan's earliest films and a classic, 2000's Memento is the mind-blowing story of Leonard Shelby, played by Guy Pearce, and his quest to avenge the murder of his wife. It seems common enough, right? Well, it's a Christopher Nolan film, so you know there's a twist. Leonard, who goes by the name Lenny at times, has a rare and severe form of amnesia where he can't remember or create short-term memories. He literally can't remember things that have happened or people he has met only a few minutes after meeting them. So you can imagine how difficult it must be to try to solve a past murder with this affliction. How did he remember his wife and that she had been murdered at least a year prior, you ask? Apparently during the struggle with his wife's killer, Lenny fell and hit his head on the floor, causing this very rare form of amnesia. And anything up until that point has been able to be retained in his memory somehow. So to try to remember even the simplest tasks, he has to write notes to himself, take Polaroids with notes written on the back of them, and other tactics to try to avoid an unending loop of unproductive repetitiveness. But when it comes to the revenge of his wife, Lenny leaves nothing to chance, as he has multiple instructions permanently tattooed across his body to help him on his vengeful investigation. Along to help aid him in exacting his revenge is Teddy, played by Joe Pantoliano, a wisecracking accomplice/friend of Lenny at first glance, who knows all about Lenny's condition, his mission, and the vicious cycle he's been in trying to carry it out. Not only that, he actually seems to know more about Lenny's past than he does, and is constantly frustrated that Lenny can't seem to snap out of it and realize what he's doing to himself. Although Teddy is very aware of what the mentally tortured man is doing to others as well, as he's easily manipulated due to the fact that if he doesn't write down everything, people can tell him anything and have him chasing his own tail, or even worse, have him running around doing their dirty work. Lenny constantly recalls the story of Sammy Jenkins and recounts it to anyone that will listen. Apparently, Jenkins was another individual who suffered from the same extreme memory loss, and back when Lenny was an insurance agent, he claims to have met with Jenkins and his wife on behalf of the company to investigate the validity of Jenkins' claims. He constantly refers to this past interaction as he now has to deal with the same affliction and is determined to have a better system than Jenkins did, as the married couple's story eventually ended up in tragedy. This is one of the concepts within the movie that is crucial to pay attention to, as it becomes clear exactly what this couple represents as the ending revelations unfold. There's also Natalie, played by Carrie-Anne Moss, a mysterious woman that Lenny keeps meeting over and over who claims she wants to help him, as she's also suffered a loss and sympathizes with his plight. But like I mentioned, when you truly can't remember anything clearly, who do you trust? Who's manipulating you for their own gain? And how do you truly know what you've done and who might have it out for you? Just because Lenny writes things down is not the solution to avoid being as lost as Jenkins, because you have to think about it. He isn't just writing down facts. He's writing them down with emotion, with intent, and with the constant paranoia that this or that person can't be trusted. And if you end up going in this circle a few times because of the lack of ability to create these new memories, aren't you just as lost as the person you're trying not to be? He just believes he isn't, and that has to be an extremely tough and exhausting way to live when you put it in perspective, never having closure, but continuously living your life in this endless loop seeking it. Natalie isn't stupid, and she sees a way she may be able to play on Lenny's amnesia to accomplish some personal goals. Not only that, as the story comes together, it's clear she's getting a kick out of it, which makes her look heartless at first glance, taking advantage of someone with such a debilitating disability. But remember, she's also suffered a loss in her life, just like Lenny, and the two of them are more connected than you initially realize, although only one of them is able to see it. Meanwhile, Lenny believes he's getting some traction towards his goal with the help of his voice of reason, Teddy. But in actuality, Teddy is also taking advantage of Lenny's situation while also trying to help him, which is a weird combination. But now that I think about it, probably not so uncommon. The good in him sees Lenny suffering, reliving his pain, this loss, this never-ending quest. But at the same time, he realizes he can use a guy like this to accomplish some things he wouldn't be able to accomplish with a person who could remember someone wronging them and was able to tie emotions to that situation to know how to navigate that relationship. It's like touching a hot stove. You remember it's hot and the negative physical pain that comes with that. So next time you'll have that memory to deter you from making that same mistake. But without that memory, what's stopping you from always being drawn to what's eventually going to burn you over and over? Does it matter? Teddy knows Lenny's history and has stuck by his side, so to speak, since his wife's murder, believing he could help Lenny avenge his wife, thus quenching his thirst for that closure. But he soon realized Lenny would never be satisfied, as his problems didn't stem from any perpetrator, but subside deep within himself. My movie ratings and best performance award will be showing next, so continue watching for those. Subscribe if you feel you've gained anything from these reviews. As I always try to include some life lessons or gems that you may be able to relate to your life experiences. If you've made it this far, thanks for watching. Comments are welcome, and I'll see you on the next one.